Welcome everyone. My name is Ana Fernandez Iglesias, connecting from the beautiful region of Asturias, north of Spain, and I'm thrilled to guide you today through what promises to be an inspiring and impactful experience. So, on behalf of the entire organizing team, I warmly welcome you to the 2025 International Day of Women in Mining, which is a global celebration of the remarkable achievements that continue to drive gender diversity, inclusion, and transformation across the mining sector. We are really so pleased to have such a strong global presence with us today on Zoom and across all social media platforms. And please, for those of you on the Zoom call, keep telling us in the chat where you are connecting from. And we can start with the house rules. They will be in the chat now and they are in the screen. So you have live translation available today in French, in Spanish, and Portuguese. So you just have to click on the world icon at the bottom of your screen and select your language. And please, if possible, also activate your camera because we really want to celebrate with each one of you and share IDWIM together, regardless of where you are now. So at mine site or in the office, at home, in your car, with children or pets. Just be safe if you do so. So these events will be interactive and all instructions will be provided throughout the celebration. And please stay muted at all times so that we can avoid noise and interference with our speakers, please. And for the best experience of the speakers, please also click on the View tab at the top right-hand side in your screen and select the speaker view. So today's program is really packed with a lot of insightful presentations, engaging conversations, games also, and chances to win amazing prizes. And despite the time difference, our distinguished guest speakers and many of you are joining us live today. We want to sincerely thank everyone for your dedication in advancing equity, inclusion, and transformation in the mining industry worldwide. So before we begin this joyful celebration, it is my pleasure to introduce you to Barbara Dischinger, founder and director of International Women in Mining. Barbara has spent nearly 2 decades turning connection into collective power, proving that when women in mining rise, the whole industry transforms. She is joining us from London today with a personal message to kick off our celebration event. Welcome, Barbara.
Thank you very much, everyone. It's lovely to be among you today. Hello, and a very warm welcome to each and every one of you, especially. It is my honor and privilege to have the duty to open this truly special gathering as we celebrate the International Day of Women in Mining with all of you. Launched in 2022, it has now grown into a global movement. In recent months, IWIM has passed the torch to a passionate team of community volunteers because IDWIM belongs to everyone and is for everyone. They have embraced this initiative and have poured their passion into creating the powerful program we're about to experience today. I thank them for all their dedication, and we hope today will leave you inspired and hopeful. Today, across continents and time zones, we're gathered not just on a virtual platform, but in a shared spirit of purpose, connection, progress, possibility, and unstoppable momentum. We are over 1,400 strong, representing many countries, cultures, and lived experiences. And we are united by one vision, that mining can and must be inclusive. Today is more than just a date on the calendar. It is a call to honor, a call to amplify, and a call to act. We honor the women that have come before us, those who shattered rock and ceilings when no one believed they should even be there. We celebrate the incredible contributions women make every day, reshaping the industry from the inside out. We see you, and your strength is echoed in every corner of the globe today. We acknowledge the progress that has been made, and we recognize the continued challenges ahead, from safety and gender bias to inequitable opportunities and representation. Today, this event is a continuation of the deep commitment we all have to listen, learn, and lead change, because transformation belongs to all of us, regardless of gender, seniority, or country of origin. To all the men with us today, Your presence matters, and you're part of this story. We thank you for being allies, mentors, champions, and co-creators of a better future for all. And thank you for walking beside us. Real transformation demands shared commitment. To the next generation watching today, know this: there is a place for you in this industry, and not just to take part, but to lead it. When we uplift women in mining, we uplift the entire industry, because equity is not about choosing between women or men. It's about choosing all of us. The future of mining isn't defined by gender. It's defined by the strength of our collaboration, the diversity of our voices, and the inclusivity of our vision. It's about building a future where no one is left behind. So let's walk together forward. Welcome once again, and thank you for being part of this powerful moment.
Thank you. Thank you, Barbara, for your inspiring words. I think we can also agree that both men and women in the industry have a shared spirit of purpose and connection. And today, as your host, as your proud host, I would like to take a moment to reflect on my own journey in mining, because as most of you know, our 2025 photo competition this year was about that, how it started and where we are today. And for me, it was a simple question many years ago. I asked myself, is anyone in our amazing research and development team supporting our mines to be more sustainable? And the answer at that time was no. So I took that as an invitation, really, to start working on some significant changes. And little did I know that this would become my most interesting career path. Almost 15 years later, I am so happy for all the amazing work that my colleagues and I have been putting together. And I feel particularly proud of all the women that have joined our team throughout the years, some of them here today. I am sure you can also reflect on how much you have evolved in your professional, educational, and personal life. So please tell us about your journey also in the chat. We would love to read it. For me, the mining industry has really allowed me to turn ideas into realities. Working in innovation is something I feel really grateful for, because it really allows us to change things for the better. And that resonates a lot with what diversity, equity, and inclusion have to bring to our workplaces and lives. Mining can only be better if we work on this together. And this year, we gather from around the world for International Day of Women in Mining with a strong voice of I am mining and I belong. For us, the celebration does not end today. We are excited to share Voices of Impact, a year of resilience and recognition, a year-long campaign that uplifts the stories, the leadership, and the impact of women and allies across the natural resources sector. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's embrace this celebration with purpose and a shared commitment to advancing gender equity across the global mining industry. Together, we are just not witnessing change, but we are shaping it. So let the International Day of Women in Mining celebration begin. And this global celebration would not be possible without the support of all our sponsors who recognize that change in mining requires meaningful investment. We want to acknowledge the World Gold Council for being this year's IDWIM 2025 sponsor. And it is now my pleasure to introduce you to Terry Heyman, Chief Strategy Officer at the World Gold Council. Although he could not join us today live, he has prepared a special video message for all of you.
At the World Gold Council, and I'm really sorry that I can't be with you today, but really delighted that the World Gold Council is able to play a small role in supporting the work of international women in mining. We recognise the huge opportunities that are available to women in the mining space, but also the work that continues to need to happen to enable that and to create those opportunities. And really excited to see the work that International Women in Mining is leading, the role that they play in bringing together people across the mining sector who can recognise that opportunity and who can find ways to take advantage of that opportunity. Mining is a great industry. It really does create so many opportunities. We've got to make sure that there is equality of opportunity, that everybody has access to that opportunity, because we clearly see that there are so many ways in which women do and can and should contribute to the mining sector. So really delighted to be part of this in a small way. Very excited around the work that I know is planned for the coming months, the Voices of Impact, and really speaking to the impact that women can play, building those connections, taking action, working collaboratively, and really excited to see how this plays out through the year. So hope you have a great time today. My congratulations to everybody involved, and again, apologies that I can't be with you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Terry, for your words of encouragement. Yes, the opportunities that can be made available when we work together are those that will transform the future of mining for women around the world. So now it's time to have a little bit of fun and celebrate together. And we invite you to join us in our first game of the day, the IDWin Trivia. Test your knowledge by answering all the questions correctly and as quickly as you can for a chance to win an Edumine course of your choice. Okay, so either from your phone or your computer, we ask you to please scan the code or click in the link provided in the Zoom chat. Okay? You can participate both ways, and please submit your name and email correctly. And as we get ready for the trivia, we want to thank Edumine for providing all our attendees today with two things. First of all, a 25% discount on all of their courses. And to redeem your discount, you just have to enter IDWin 2025 at checkout. This offer is only valid until...
Yeah, can you guys not hear it?
7.
Oh, it's because we were on mute.
Okay. Sorry, please mute yourselves. Thank you. If you have not experienced this already, you also have the opportunity to visit edumine.com for a pre-trial of the recently launched AI-powered knowledge tool, which is called Edumine Answer. So this tool delivers instant, expert-vetted answers for technical, operational, and strategic questions. So you can visit edumine.com and just click on Edumine Answers. And I have to tell you that I have experienced some Edumine courses myself, and they have really supported my growth and leadership. So this is a great opportunity for everyone, trust me. Okay, so if you have already logged in, how we are doing, we can start. Okay. That's excellent. Well, we have some more people coming. Remember, you can join from your smartphone or from your computer. As soon as most of us have logged in, we will start. Remember that you have to answer correctly, but also fast, okay? There will be a countdown. Okay, so let's go. Let's go for the first question of the trivia. So, women in the mining industry are more likely to lose their jobs during economic downturns compared to men. Is that true or false? For those of you writing in the chat, you can log in, so you will have the chance to win your Edumine course of choice. And let's leave some time for our translators also, so that everyone can access the question and answers. Okay, so most of you got the right answer, which is obviously true. So congratulations. Let's move for the next one. Okay, what measures can companies undertake to advance employment opportunities for women in mining? 1. Employing more women only in administrative positions. 2. Removing bias from recruitment processes, career development, and mentoring programs. Or 3. Disregarding gender pay gaps. You still have 35 seconds to answer. Yes, please. Do not only answer in the chat. If you do that, we cannot include you in the prize. So if you really want to apply for an EduMine course, you need to log in the website or with the code, okay? So, whoa, that was fast. The answer was the second one. Let's go for the next one. Overall, women in mining have higher educational attainment than men. Is that true or is it false? Okay, well, the answer is true. Women have higher educational attainment than men. Okay, last question of our trivia. How is a mining company embedding diversity, equity, and inclusion policies and practices into their strategies and operations? First, addressing workplace psychological and psychosocial safety. Second, designing inclusive workplaces. Or third, all of the options. Okay. So the right answer was the third one, all of the options. Thank you. Thank you for participating. We will have another game after our first roundtable. So I encourage you to go through the QR code with your phone so you can answer in the app and then have the chance to win the prizes, which is a course from EduMine. So now let's move to the ambassadors. So now I have the pleasure of introducing our 2024 IDWIM ambassador, Amparo Cornejo, Chief Sustainability Officer at TEC. And today, Amparo is joining us virtually from Expo 2025 Osaka Kansai in Japan, where she is accompanied by Aurora Williams, Chile's Minister of Mining. And together, these two exceptional leaders will share a powerful message with you. So please remember that if you require translation, please click on the word icon to select your preferred language. So let's go with the video.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at the Chile Pavilion at the Osaka 2025 fair. And from here, we wanted to send you the warmest meeting to all women miners in the International Day of Women.
With the highest authority in mining in Chile, our minister, Mrs. Aurora Williams, who is a leader not only in the mining industry, but also pushing for the inclusion of women in mining.
This meeting, organized every year by the International Women in Mining, has the magic of connecting many women across several geographies. We are here in Japan, and therefore we are a few hours ahead in the day schedule. Very early in the morning, here at the Chilean Pavilion in Osaka, we had a very fruitful encounter where we discussed with a group of women the different challenges, opportunities, and the meaning of participating in mining, not only as workers in large or small mining companies, but also from the supplier's point of view, since there is here a group of Chilean suppliers. Women make an enormous contribution to teamwork. We have the possibility of improving teams, work climate. We can improve the company's profitability, and in the mining industry, we can also contribute to security matters. This connection that allows IWIM with the different women of the world somehow makes it possible to underscore the importance of women, and from a space as important as mining, to start building social justice.
I have been able to research, to learn from your stories, from the challenges that you have shared, and that has helped me to grow. My tenure as an ambassador is arriving to an end, and I am so happy to welcome the new ambassador, Brano, who comes with a very strong experience of changing the culture in biggest companies in order to do more work. I also want to welcome the new emerging leader ambassador, Paula Sierra, who brings her youth and energy into this new role that the organization has established for this year. I really want to thank everybody for this journey, for this year, and I hope you had a very powerful and important journey today.
I would like to recognize IWIM's work throughout the world, and I would like to thank Amparo for the work she did during her tenure as IWIM's ambassador. I would like to greet the new ambassador, Rano. To whom I wish the most success in this important work, which is drive the inclusion of women in mining. I come from mining. I belong in mining.
Okay, we sincerely thank Amparo Cornejo and Minister Aurora Williams for amplifying the voice of IDWIM on such a prominent global stage. Their presence at Expo 2025 Osaka Kansai reflects their growing impact in advancing equity and inclusion across all regions of the mining world. Amparo's continued leadership will certainly leave a powerful and lasting legacy throughout the entire IWIM community. How does their message resonate with you, both in your work and daily life? We would love to hear your thoughts, so please keep sharing your reflections in the chat. And before I introduce you to our IDWIM 2025 ambassador, it is time to open our first roundtable, The Power of Allies. Audrey Lembliski, CEO of Team Synergy Global Consulting and the co-leader of the IDWIM Organizing Committee, will moderate our first roundtable discussion about the evolving role of allies and the co-creation of new systems of ownership, equity, and influence. Joining us from Canada, Tanzania, and Central America, it is my greatest pleasure to introduce our speakers. We have Ana Gabriela Juarez, the founder of WIM Central America and president at CTA Environmental Consultants. Meg Tilder, head of Continental and Diaspora Affairs Council of African Youth in Minerals Executive, secretary of Tanzania Women in Mining, and co-founder of Bumi Youths. Heather Gamble, co-founder and CEO of Artemis Project. And lastly, we have Justin Clark, Health and Safety Manager at New Gold New Afton. And now I will hand it over to Audrey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Audrey Lembitsky, and I'm honored to serve as your moderator for our first discussion, The Power of Allies. First, I want to acknowledge each of you, our guests, panelists, and local community for being here as we celebrate International Day for Women in Mining. This day is a bold declaration of visibility, value, and voices for women across the industry. Allyship is not a title. It's a conscious daily practice of using our influence, presence, and our voice to create safe spaces, shift systems, and stand for others. In an industry where tradition often defines tone, allyship requires courage, humility, and action. Today, we're joined by leaders who are not just speaking about allyship, they're living it. They are reshaping what inclusion, ownership, and shared power look like from within. To begin this conversation, I want to ground us in one of the most critical places where allyship shows up or doesn't, and that is in safety culture. Our first panelist understands that safety is not just about procedures. It's about the presence and creating systems where everyone, especially women, can thrive, contribute, and feel they truly belong. Justin Clark is the Health and Safety Manager who has gone beyond compliance. His leadership reflects what allyship looks like in action. So welcome, Justin. Justin, in your role leading health and safety, how have you intentionally created systems, spaces, or cultural shifts that support the inclusion, safety, and advancement of women in your operations?
Good morning, Audrey. Thank you. Here at New Afton, we're an underground block cave mine with 739 employees and 139 women working in various roles from underground maintenance, process plant, technical, and support roles. We believe inclusion starts with creating spaces that are both physical and cultural that support a lived experience where everyone belongs. At New Gold, our philosophy is courage to care, which is grounded in 3 core principles. We never compromise on safety, we always look out for one another, and we stop work if it's not safe. When we look out for one another, that also includes things that are important to people. We identified several tangible steps to support women at New Afton in feeling included, comfortable, and safe at site. So as part of advancing inclusion in our operations, we started with the expansion of a women's change room, and then we built a separate gender-neutral change room facility providing more inclusive and accessible options for everyone. Next, we addressed the selection of PPE. While we've had women's coveralls for many years, we recently introduced a 2-piece option of PPE designed specifically for women, which offers obviously more comfort and practicality, especially when we're working long shifts underground. We also identified that some of the most minor things were also overlooked, and we recently installed menstrual hygiene product dispensers in our underground and surface washroom facilities to ensure access when needed. This was something that was so small for us to do, yet big, meaningful action for the women here in New Afton.
Amazing, Justin. These small little things have a big impact on people's life. And thank you for your commitment to do those thoughtful types of actions. I want to really now focus on, Justin, can you share a specific initiative or decision that made a measurable difference? And, really to support the other leaders who are on this call today who might want to take similar action, but really aren't sure where to start.
Sure. With female representation having been historically low, our human resources team intentionally prioritized diverse recruitment efforts, which provided to increase the number of women at our site. And I believe this is due to our prioritization of authentic initiatives that are meaningful. For women being represented across all levels of our site and all committees, ensuring that we listen and implement ideas that come from the voices of women. And so today, our Joint Occupational Health and Safety Committee and our Employee Engagement Committee have women representatives compared to a decade ago when those committees were either non-existent or they were predominantly male. In my role specifically overseeing emergency response and preparedness, I also focus on making our fire and mine rescue teams more inclusive. A recent change that was an addition to our a flex dry space that we recently created in our emergency services building. This allowed for more privacy when changing, which I hope actually potentially breaks down potential barriers for future women applicants. This was especially important, encouraging women who may not have felt comfortable changing in that original open concept team change room drive facility. And I'm actually really proud to say that we currently have 4 women actively participating in our fire mine rescue teams, and they're each equipped with properly fitted turnout gear. Also, a change starts with policy, and our human resources team has done an amazing job strengthening policies such as respectful workplace and diversity, equity, inclusion. And I feel that we've also really moved the needle in the language that we use to elevate the standard to a psychologically safer environment for women and for everyone. But beyond supporting women directly on site, we also looked at our policies that can impact the women within our community. And for example, we revised our pregnancy and parental leave policy last year to provide greater flexibility and support. It not only benefits women returning from leave, but it also supports partners taking parental leave to help their spouse re-enter the workforce, whether it be at our site or elsewhere in the community. And lastly, on a personal note, I'm a father of 2 daughters. I want to be able to say that we've created a workplace that sees them, supports them, and sets them up to succeed, not just in policy, but in practice. And I often ask myself, would I want to see my daughters working here?
Wow. Justin, I think all of us would agree that having a place that people feel safe and can really experience dignity is very important. And all of this work that you've been doing at New Afton we can really see the kind of significant differences when these initiatives are put in place. So thank you. So now allyship isn't just about men supporting women. And Justin has really shared so many incredible initiatives from his leadership. It's also about women supporting women by challenging systems, creating access, and rewriting the narrative of what can actually be possible. Our next panelist, Anna, embodies the work on every level. As the founder of Women in Mining Central America, the author of Anna's Adventures in Mine, intended to inspire our younger generation of girls to come into mining, and the president of an environmental consulting firm. Anna, you have spent your career turning advocacy into action. Now, through your leadership in consulting across countries and cultures, what decisions or strategies have you deliberately used to create real, visible change for women in mining, especially environments where inclusion wasn't built into the system?
So thank you. Good morning, Audrey. Good morning, everyone. And thank you for the opportunity for being here. And I'm very proud to represent today as well the Central American region. Woo! So I've learned that in environments where inclusion isn't built sometimes in the system, you don't have to really wait for the system to change. Sometimes you have to become that disruption. So when I started working in mining in Central America, because I'm from Guatemala, I was often the only woman in the room, and sometimes the only person even raising the topic of gender inclusion and more women in the room. So I really stopped asking for a seat at the table and built my own. That's how really Women in Mining Central America was born. We didn't wait for perfect condition, but we created the momentum with what we had. So one key strategy that has worked really for us across our countries and cultures, don't start necessarily with policy, start with people. I sit down with women operations, with human resource teams, with leaderships, and I ask them, okay, where are the gaps? Where is the resistance? And maybe also where are the quick wins? Because meaningful actions start small. Sometimes it might look like you have to start a mentoring circle at a site or inviting male allies into conversation like we just heard. But then also it grows into awareness campaigns, into scholarships, into career pipelines, or so many other options as well. But I think the most important decision I made was to stop asking the culture if the culture was ready and to start acting as if it already was. Because when you walk into a space with that mindset, you just don't bring change, but you become it. So I think maybe my key takeaway from this and from this question, Audrey, is if the system wasn't built for you, build something stronger. Start with one conversation, with one connection, one action. So real change doesn't really need permission. It needs courage. And that's what I'm asking from everyone that's also hearing and at this event today.
Thank you, Anna. It's so powerful that we need to be the ones to advocate for ourselves, and little by little by little, we're going to get there. So thank you, Anna. And when you hear what Anna and Justin has shared, it's allyship is not only found in policies or programs. Sometimes it's built directly into the livelihoods of the communities. And our next panelist, Matilda, is a passionate advocate of youth engagement in the minerals and mining sector. And she's really creating unique opportunities that partner with local women miners. From the mine to market, the women she works with not only extract the process and process the stones, but they also profit from them. Work shows us that what allyship really looks like when it's rooted in shared ownership, economic justice, and community empowerment is something we can all begin to adopt no matter where we are in the world. So, Matilda, in your work directly with youth and local women miners, what does allyship look like when it's grounded in community and long-term empowerment?
Thank you, Audrey. Good afternoon from East Africa. Well, I started as a small-scale miner in Tanzania and then moved to Mozambique. But then I didn't know much. There was no network, no platform and all that. But what I had was a grit and a vision that women like me deserve more than survival. We deserve to thrive. And that gave birth to Tanzania Women in Mining and Mineral Industry. Today, we work hand in hand with women and youth, from miners in the rural pits to traders in the city markets to geologists and engineers and to local service providers, value addition entrepreneurs too. So allyship to us means inclusion with intention. It means not only opening doors, but making sure women and youth own the keys to those doors. It is in cooperatives in Mwanza where young women in mining, they mine responsible, learning finances, reinvesting in their families. It is in the gemstone traders in Arusha, mentoring a young teenager who once thought mining was only for men. It is through youth miners in Shinyanga, now trading regionally, because someone believed in him or her and potentially and offered a chance. So allyship isn't just support, it is solidarity. It is in building a system that do not only use local talent, but uplift together for the miners and the communities in those mining areas.
Oh, Matilda, I mean, the support, the solidarity, creating the types of systems that are unified in a way for people to prosper. And you really are a walking, talking example of that. And I thank you on behalf of the entire world. So thank you. So when we look at allyship, it really is an opportunity, like our speakers have shared today, to open those doors. And opening those doors look a different way for everybody, no matter where you are in the world. Even the most powerful systems can be changed from one culture to the next. And when we look at whether our next panelist as the founder of Artemis Project, you really have advanced women-owned businesses in mining and focusing on the procurement equity side of supporting women consultants. You are also creating programs like the Artemisa Project that creates cross-border learning opportunities by sponsoring women mining engineers. And Heather, we would like to know, you have built real structures that prioritize women's advancement, especially in procurement and cross-border learning. What have you found to be the most effective when allyship is tied to economic opportunity and access to decision-making?
Well, thank you, Audrey. Thank you so much to everyone for being here today and supporting us and our fellow panelists and around this topic. I just feel there's probably 1,000 different examples of allyship from this incredible body of women in mining around the world. And I just happen to be a little slice that focuses in entrepreneurs. And so we started out very organically. I wasn't from mining. I started the first women's entrepreneurial business accelerator in Canada. And it just really organically happened that I met my first mining engineer, female mining engineer. And so I didn't have that background saying, and I didn't understand there was a problem in the low representation until I started working in mining in more depth, obviously. However, Anna's talked about how you just go in there and, you just own it and you see a way and you go in and lead that. Well, being an entrepreneur is much like that as well. And so what I've seen, it really was an intention to lift other women entrepreneurs of all industries. And then specifically, I just started working in mining, and with one entrepreneur, with another entrepreneur. I didn't have any intention of changing any systems or disrupting anything in mining. None at all. And then all of a sudden, I just started working with these incredible women-owned businesses in mining, and the response we were getting, and I couldn't believe that they were actually the least represented group across mining. Less than 1% of women-owned businesses are in the procurement, are in the supply chain. So we're at the 1% club. And I just felt they're incredible. They're so competent, capable. And the only thing they needed that I could offer was a little lift up to senior level management, a little lift into some senior level networking, and some visibility. And so really Artemis, it absolutely started organically. And as a result, it's really cool because of all of us of Artemis have now changed the system. We've now introduced, and I remember when we first started, Yamana Gold said to us, "You're going to change standards." And I'm thinking, standards? How am I going to change any standards in mining? I mean, I'm Heather, the entrepreneurial woman in Canada. Anyhow, I must say, it's through the dedication, the purposeful, the intention of all the Artemis women-owned businesses that we got together and continue to evolve as we continue today and develop and bust through the system. And so now I'm very, very, very beyond pleased to say we have developed gender responsive procurement. And we have studied it. We brought it in, best practices from other areas. And we are leading this, much to Anna's point. There wasn't a gender responsive procurement before. Now there is. And Artemis is leading that. And so I really believe it's, or certainly from my experience, it wasn't, I probably had blinders on and I just put my head down with all the other women and decided we're going for it. And going for it, what did that mean? It meant raising visibility, raising awareness for these incredible women-owned businesses in mining that are just doing phenomenal solutions and services, of which, Audrey, you are one. So, and then to really what has been really taken it and really put it, like busted the system, was that we started at the top leadership. We started with CEOs, had conversations with CEOs, shared what we're doing. And then we, really mobilized tangible benefits and outcomes and targets. However we frame those targets, but those 3 T words have been and enabled us to really bust through and create a brand new subject matter, if you will. And the subject matter really is, at the end of the day, of lifting these incredible women and giving them access into the procurement, which we all know is massive in mining, and moving the 1% club. Yeah, right on, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really important for economic prosperity, opportunity, and equity for all, that we need to place the people in front of the decision makers. And I would think everyone would agree you've definitely been successful of that. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us today. And as we close out this discussion, I want to thank each of our panelists for the value, leadership, and action you have brought to this conversation. You really are the true demonstrations of creating systems, to pushing up against the barriers, to dealing with the resistance and the naysayers, and just get back up and do it again. And we want to thank you. And now we want to hear from all of you. So What we're going to do is take a moment to reflect together through the following poll questions. So the first question is, what is the greatest barrier to allyship in your organization? So 1, lack of awareness or skill building. 2, no formal systems for advancement or mentorship. 3, leadership resistance for allyship is not seen as part of the business strategy. 4, all of the above. 5, other reasons. And please share in the chat. You can see that all the above had the highest number. And you can look at number 2, no formal systems for advancement or mentorship. And I would say that every expert we have had on the call today has pushed through those barriers to advance those systems. And all of us together collectively can really unite in our allyship to move this industry forward in a way where everyone truly and authentically really feels like they belong here and there's a future for us. So thank you. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you. Thank you, Aubrey, Justin, Matilda, Heather, and Ana Gabriela for such insightful conversation. There's no doubt that allies play a crucial role into making changes truly happen. Now let's see the following videos from some IWIMS
My name is Farah Karim, and I'm with Legal Valley Base Metals. Today, it is my honor to share a few thoughts in recognition of International Women's Day. Working in mining provides us with incredible opportunities. It encompasses the privilege of having a global platform to represent core values, including values of equality and inclusivity. The change that we collectively make towards achieving gender equality sends a global message. We each have a voice, and we will continue to use that voice to promote equality.
Happy International Day of Women in Mining 2025. I'm Dorena Quinn, Chief People Officer at IAMGOLD. This year's theme, The Voice of Impact, is a powerful call to action to amplify all voices. Today is much more than a calendar moment. It's a reminder of the path women have walked, the challenges faced, and the significant progress made in a sector filled with tremendous possibility for the future. And alongside our male allies, as transformation moves forward in service of a shared purpose, we celebrate successes, learn from experience, and lift one another up. And together we carry the collective responsibility for enabling change, for unlocking possibility for future generations in safe, inclusive environments. As my colleagues in our West African mine have shared, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And so today I want to pass those words forward, honoring the progress that women in the past and present have made, and looking forward to the future with purpose, passion, and persistence. Congratulations and best wishes to all.
great messages. We extend our sincere gratitude to Vale Base Metals and IAMGOLD for their generous support. And I would like to recall Amparo Cornejo's motivating words about how much she has valued her time and experience as an IWIM ambassador, because she has been able to listen, to learn from the challenges of women in mining worldwide, and grow herself while also supporting others to grow. It is time now to pass the torch to our 2025 IWIM ambassador. And it is an honor to formally introduce you to Rano Kozimova, an expert in strategic management, human capital development, and sustainable growth within Uzbekistan mining industry with over 25 years of experience. As head of organizational development at Navoi Mining and Metallurgical Company, Rano leads initiatives in organizational and talent development, fosters an inclusive corporate culture, and enhances Navo's global recognition. In 2024, she initiated Navo's partnership with IWIM to empower women in the sector and created the podcast Golden Law of Talent, which promotes women in the mining industry. Beyond her professional life, she values travel and her role as a mother, driven by a commitment to inspiring leadership and sustainable industry development. We are delighted you could join us today to mark the 2025 International Day of Women in Mining. Welcome, Rana.
Thank you, Anna, for a warm welcome and kind words. Hello, everyone, dear colleagues, partners, and friends. It's a true honor for me to speak to you today on the occasion of the International Day for Women in Mining 2025. Allow me to say also Assalamu alaikum to all participants who have joined our event from my home country, Uzbekistan. Today is a special day to recognize the strengths, contribution, and leadership of women in our industry, uniting us across borders. I am deeply grateful to the IDWIM Committee for the honor and responsibility of serving as an ambassador for this inspiring global movement. The stories of IDWIM volunteers worldwide, filled with strength, resilience, and dedication, are building blocks for a more inclusive, fair, and human-centered industry we all believe in. And today I would like to share my own story, the path that brought me to the field and to the company I proud to represent, Navo Mining and Metallurgical Company. My story began in the south of Uzbekistan, in the ancient city of Shahrizaz, the birthplace of the great leader Amir Timur. Its historical center is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Growing up surrounded by historic palaces and stories of heroes, I live in a world without smartphones and internet, where imagination and tradition shaped our dreams. Like many girls at that time, I was raised in a world of clearly defined rules. Girls were expected to be caretakers, boys were told they would fly into space. That was narrative in our school books and in many homes of that time. Did I dream of a career in mining of that period? Of course not. But everything changed in 1991 when Uzbekistan became independent. We were swept up by a wave of transformation, exciting but uncertain. We suddenly found ourselves in a new world, full of unknowns, but also full of possibilities. This transition was not easy, especially for a teenager in a small city. But youth has its own strengths, a kind of boldness. This quality helped me embrace the new, to be curious instead of afraid. I am especially grateful to my mother, a strong woman who taught me and my sister to keep going. Even the path ahead was unclear. She always said, "The road will open for those who walk it." This motto has accompanied me throughout my entire life journey. In times of change, women are often the first to feel the weight of stereotypes, and Uzbekistan was no exception. Rethinking our role in a society has become an essential part of our national journey. Like many women of my generation, I searched for role models, figures who could inspire not only personally change, but also a belief that transformation was truly possible. And I found that strength in our history, in the history of Uzbekistan. I was deeply inspired by the Jadid movement that emerged in early 20th century Uzbekistan, especially the women who bravely stepped into public life and pursued knowledge. Their pursued education, often in European universities, proved women in the country with deep traditional rules could be modern homemakers. These pioneering women laid the foundation for the inclusive, modern Uzbekistan we are building today. And this vision is at the core of the national strategy, New Uzbekistan 2030 strategy, which prioritizes inclusive growth. Gender equality is becoming a reality today as reform-minded women step forward with purpose. Uzbekistan is among the top 5 countries in the pace of gender reforms driven by a comprehensive strategy from equal pay laws to a 40% women representation in government and expanded digital education for women and girls. In just last month, UN Women officially opened its office in Tashkent. This meaningful step forward for all of us working to empower women and girls across the country. My professional journey was not carefully mapped out. It was a mix of readiness and opportunity. In the beginning, like with many of you, it was hard. Technical language, especially considering that my background is in finance, male-dominated teams, and inner doubts. I often find myself wondering, can I really do this? Over time, that question was evolved, and today I ask myself, how can I help other women walk this path with more confidence and fewer obstacles? That shift in perspective has become a driving force behind much of what I do. Dear ladies, dear gorgeous participants, at NMMC, we're committed to creating that very path for others. For many years, the mining sectors, including our company, which contributes over 6.5% to the national GDP, remained a male space. Slowly, but change is underway. I'm proud to work for a company and for a country where women are increasingly supported, empowered, and heard. And this progress is no accident. It stems from deliberate efforts within NMMC, regular field visits to gather feedback from our sites for women who works on sites, the active leadership of our women's committee led by Sabuhat Nazarova, her name I would like to highlight today, and personal initiatives like already you have heard as my podcast, Golden Glow of Talent, where we spotlight women's career stories. We have also launched Voices of Women in Metallurgy at the 2023 Mining Forum in Tashkent, a growing platform for networking and idea sharing that is building momentum and hope. And of course, no one of this would be possible without support from our male colleagues. And I'm truly grateful to the leadership of NMMC, General Director Kuandik Sanakulev and Deputy Chairman for Transformation Evgeny Antonov. For me, women in mining drive sustainable growth, wiser decision, and new professional values, not just diversity. Central Asian women's voices are increasingly influential globally, especially in sustainability, inclusion, and leadership, and we are proud to contribute. As an IWIM ambassador, my mission is to connect Central Asia with international women in mining movement. And I believe together we can shape a future where women collaborate, inspire, and transform our industry. And to finalize, I would like to underline that it doesn't matter whether you were born in a big city or a small town. What matters is where you are headed and the heart you bring to that journey. My story is not unique. It reflects the journey of thousands of women sitting across this event today in different countries, slowly or quickly, but most importantly, steadily changing the face of our industry. Together we can do more, and today's events proves that. And dear participants, dear today's gorgeous ladies and women, as I often say, a woman's strength is not in the loudness of her words, but in their depths. Her strength is like water, soft but capable of shaping stone. Women are not just working in this industry, they are redefining what it can be. Thank you so much for your trust, your support, and for working this journey together towards towards a more inclusive and sustainable future for our next generation. Together, we are shaping a new reality. And I proudly say today's motto, I am mining and I belong. Happy International Day of Women in Mining, dear colleagues. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you for your words, Ranu. We applaud all the work that you're doing for women in the industry. I am deeply inspired, and I'm certain that many others in the audience are too. And this year, we are also proud to introduce a new category of recognition, one that honors the rising voices of a new generation who are reshaping the mining image through innovation, education, and digital influence. These young trailblazers are using creative tools and social media to share a message that is both inspiring and accessible, helping to make mining a more inclusive and attractive industry for the future. It is my great pleasure to introduce our 2025 emerging leader, Paula Sierra, a Colombian influencer in mining education, a dedicated researcher, and a passionate student of mining and metallurgy engineering. Paula represents the future of our industry, and we are proud to celebrate her today. Welcome, Paula.
Thank you, Manner. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy and thankful to be here today, surrounded by so many amazing women from the mining world. My name is Paula, and I'm mining influencer. A few years ago, I started sharing content on social media with a simple goal: to teach people about responsible mining. I wanted to show that mining is not just about machines or rocks. Behind every mining project, there are people who work hard. There is science, technology, innovation, and also a strong focus on protecting the environment. I wanted more people to see the human side of mining. At first, I thought my work was only education, but something unexpected happened. I began to receive messages from many women. Some were students, others were already working in mining, and some just admitted the sector but thought there was no space for them. They told me things like, Paula, thank you for showing that we can be part of this too. Those messages touched my heart. I realized that something as simple as sharing my history was having a big impact without planning it. I was inspiring other women to study, to speak up, and to believe in themselves. I was helping them see they could also be part of this industry, even if it has often been seen as a space just for men. That changed how I saw my mission. I was no longer just teaching. I was also representing, supporting, and inspiring. I was showing that we, as women, have a place in mining and that our voices matter. Today, being here, receiving this recognition as an emerging leader in this global network of women in mining, I feel very grateful, but I also feel responsible because this award is not only mine, it belongs to all the women who are changing mining from the inside. Women who are studying, working, living, and proving every day that we can do it too. My promise is keep going. I will continue sharing about responsible mining, but I will also keep showing that diversity makes us stronger. That when one woman step into a place where there were no women before, she never walks in alone. She opens the door for many others. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Let's keep building a mining industry that is inclusive, responsible, and truly human. Thank you for watching me. Kisses and hugs. Paula Minería.
Thank you. Thank you, Rano, and thank you, Paula, for your vibrant and motivating speeches. From Uzbekistan to Colombia, you are both leading significant examples of what leaders of change mean to all of us. Now, we did our first half of the ID Wing Celebration 2025, and as part of our well-being mission, we're having a dance break next. It is a fun way to relax, to move our bodies, reduce a little bit the stress, and boost our energy after some time sitting. And you can also use this time to refill your water, your hot drink, or just have a comfort break. If you decide to dance, we will have a DJ. Please activate your camera and join the dance party wherever you are, at the office, outside, with your team, or alone. Just don't be shy and show us your amazing dance moves. We will come back in 5 minutes. Okay, that was incredible. Dancing really adds this vibrant energy to the celebration. So thank you. Thank you for not being shy. Okay, so now let's keep the momentum going as we dive back into more inspiring conversations here at the 2025 International Day for Women in Mining. So it's time for our second game. Looks like, sounds like. So get ready. Answer all the questions correctly and as quickly as you can for a chance to win an EduMine course of your choice, okay? So, again, either from your phone or your computer, we ask you to please scan the new code. There's a new code here, QR code, or click on the link provided in the Zoom chat. You must scan the code to participate, as the live chat function and other platforms is not available during this call. And to participate, please remember to submit your name and email correctly, okay? And as we get ready, we want to thank EduMine again for providing all our attendees with a 25% discount on all their courses. And to redeem your discount, just enter ID Wing 2025 at checkout. And remember that this offer is only valid until June 27th. We also want to remind the opportunity for a free trial of EduMine's recently AI-powered knowledge tool called EduMine Answers. And remember that this tool delivers instant, expert-vetted answers for technical, operational, and strategic questions. And you can visit edumine.com and click on EduMine Answers. Okay, so if you are all ready, And most of you have logged in. We can start. Joining. It will be about images and sounds. Make sure that your speakers are working well. Okay, we're ready. Let's start. So, what metal is this? Is it iron? Is it cobalt? Or is it nickel? What do you think? Okay, so the answer was cobalt. Congratulations to those of you who got it right. Let's go for the second one, also an image. What mine is this? Is it Escondida mine in Chile? Is it Grasberg mine in Indonesia? Or is it Antamina mine in Peru? Okay, so it was Chile, Escondida mine in Chile. Congratulations to all of you who got it right. Now let's go to the next one. What gemstone is this one? It can be peridot, sapphire, or emerald. Well done to those of you who said emerald. And now sounds like, so listen closely. What sound is this? Is it a jaw crusher, a dump truck, or a bulldozer? Time's up. Not easy, but jaw crusher. So congratulations to most of you. And let's go for the last challenge. What sounds is this one? Is it a mining dump truck? Is it blasting? Or is it a conveyor belt? So the answer was okay. So mining dump truck. Congratulations to the ones that answered it right. This was not easy, yeah? Good. Thanks for your participation in our trivia app. So I hope that you were able to respond all of them and stay with us because we will announce the winners shortly. And now I have the pleasure to introduce you to our second roundtable, Beyond Traditional Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. We have Maria Jose Rodriguez, Ecuadorian mining lawyer, ESG consultant, and co-leader of the IDWIM Organizing Committee. She will moderate an engaging panel, and the following discussion features prominent mining leaders joining us today from Saudi Arabia, from the USA, Brazil, and Chile. So please welcome Rana Abdullah, President of WIM Saudi Arabia and Editor-in-Chief of Ardona Journal, Geology and Mining at Saudi Geological Survey. Andrea Bakari, Vice President of Responsible Production Frameworks and Sustainability at Freeport-McMoRan. Hilma Cunha, Director of Operations at Vale Base Metals. Douglas Aiken, Executive Director of the University of Queensland Sustainable Minerals Institute, International Center of Excellence in Chile. And now I hand it over to Maria Jose.
Thank you, Ana. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I am Maria Jose Rodriguez, and I will have the honor of moderating our second roundtable, Moving Beyond Traditional DI. As we celebrate today the International Day of Women in Mining in recognition of the merits and deliberate actions that have improved working conditions, retention, and growth of women in this industry, we understand and acknowledge that there is still work ahead. DEI initiatives in mining are not just about improving representation, but also about creating an inclusive culture and breaking down systematic barriers. It involves a strategy, commitment, and ongoing practice. But how can we ensure that DI remains or even becomes a priority strategy at both corporate and operational levels? Today, we brought together an exceptional group of experts from their leadership positions and remarkable experience. They will share how we can move past traditional discourse to successfully driving tangible and measurable outcomes. I would like to acknowledge the leadership and remarkable Launch nonprofit organization focuses on developing advanced skills among Saudi women, preparing them to meet the evolving needs of the women of the mining industry in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So my first question, Rana, would be, as the first president of Women in Mining Saudi Arabia, what personal motivations or experiences lead you to take on this leadership role? Anyway, we'll go then for Andrea, now that we cannot find. Let's see if Rana can connect in the next few minutes. So nowadays, Andrea, it is clear that we face a landscape shaped by motivation and technology. Under this scenario, mining companies are thriving to embed and adjust their DEI strategy into an innovative sustainability approach. Recognize that an inclusive and diverse workforce is crucial for operational long-term success. Andrea, in your role as Vice President of Responsible Production Frameworks and Sustainability at Freeport-McMoRan, how do you envision the mine of the future and its pipeline of female talent development?
Well, first, I just want to say muchas gracias and thank you to Maria Jose, to Barbara, to Ana Fernandez, and to Audrey for inviting me to speak today. This is such an amazing event. It's so inspiring. It was, 5:30 a.m. when I logged on here today, and what better way to start my day with this super inspiring group of women and men. So thank you. First, I think, we have this huge opportunity in front of us with innovation and really how to change the way we mine. And that opportunity also gives us a chance to change the faces of mining. It's a great opportunity. We have new roles that are coming about, big data, science, research and development, really a ton of these fields in which women have traditionally excelled. So that makes me really excited. But obviously, we need to do a ton of work to build the pipeline, right? To continue bringing diverse faces and really encourage and support diversity. And so we have this amazing opportunity in front of us as well for existing technology and for getting those roles in the pipeline. What we've been working really hard on is middle school. We've been working really hard on internships from colleges, and we've been working really hard on entrepreneurship. And I think we've heard about all of that today. We have a program called Dig into Mining, which is a partnership that we did with Discovery here in the US, and is really all about enabling teachers to have the tools available to them in middle school without having to necessarily invest in the resources for it. And I think that's something that is just amazing. The faces portrayed there, and really, the roles there are very diverse. I also think that we just have this great opportunity through internships. The more we see people like us, the more we will believe that we fit in, and the more that we will continue to grow in the mining industry and grow in talent. And so I think, I've spent a ton of time partnering. We have this amazing program through our human resources department on internship globally. And then really when we think about how do we also then lift up skill sets.
And I actually wanted to jump on to the second question now that you have explained the amazing work that you're doing with young generations, which is amazing. So I wanted to ask as well, there are multiple range of options to measure success in DI strategies and implementation. So how do you consider that international frameworks and certification schemes can be useful tools for this, and why?
Yeah, global standards are incredibly important. They help us define what we believe is the level set, what we believe is the place we need to be at, but they also help us define where we need to go. So whether they inspire us or they help measure us and hold us to account at our operations globally, they're crucially important. As many of you know, we're working right now on the Consolidated Mining Standard Initiative, which is a great partnership program. There are other great standards like IRMA out there that really do a great job of defining what does it mean to encourage, diversity and to encourage inclusion in standards. And I think that's crucially important. We want a future where no one's left behind, but we also want a much more resilient and stronger industry, which we'll see when we include diverse faces, and standards can really help us drive that across the sector.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Andrea, for your words. I think it's amazing the work that you're doing, and we count on Naudi's support to continue building an inclusive workplace experience. So now we have Rana. So we had this question for you, Rana, now talking about the international perspective of women's participation in this amazing industry. We say that you're the first president of Women in Mining Saudi Arabia. What personal motivations or experiences led you to take on this leadership position?
Hi, Maria, and thank you for this great event. I reconnect 5 times because, I'm in a forum with women in diplomacy to represent women in critical mining. And I'm so glad to have this invitation from International Women in Mining and Audrey and all there. Thank you so much for this moderating. Actually, my personal motivation are deeply rooted in a blend of professional experience and a passion of advocacy and strong belief in the transformation that happened today in our country in Saudi Arabia. And everyone in the world see how we are transformation very fast. And in the latest, the mining in Saudi Arabia achieved that the fastest growth sector, especially after the last version of FMF, Future Mining Forum, which is so well known today as a discussion platform. And that's what I'm looking as a head or president, first president as Women in Mining. And it's not coming by coincidence. I was the president of the committee Women in Mining when we created before we finish all the, it's the first time to do this in Saudi. So it took from us a time to prepare all the system or the government paper to create this organization. Now it's a baby. It's 2 weeks ago. It's officially announced. And I'm so proud of that. And directly I get this invitation to represent women in diplomacy from mining sector in Saudi with my colleague from 15th sector in Saudi, transportation, women in culture, and etc. About my journey in the mining, it started once I became the head of communication, and it's also I am a first woman who lead a communication or to be editor-in-chief of geology and mining content as a in a government journal. So it was I was like face a situation. Should I be encouraged and have the enough brave to take this initiative and to try it while I have this scientific background in rock and water labs, or I should leave it as usual to be by my male colleagues. But today, I'm in the third year working in the third copy of Ardona Journal, Geology and Mining, the only government journal in geology and mining. And I don't believe Maria that time is running, and I found myself like working on the journal of Ardona, then participating with Anna in Anna adventure at the mine, and then I found myself responsible to encourage more women in the sector. Then I lead this committee. Then I have to establish the association, and for 4 years I was from the organizing team of FMF, and I tried my best with the full support from our leadership to engage more women. And yeah, for me, women in mining, it's not about only having more women. No, sustain them and to see them enjoy their work, feel equal in the payments and the opportunity to upgrade, opportunity like what I have today. And for the good reason that today I'm here with the organization like we have in Saudi. I don't know if they're in out of Saudi, it's Women in Energy. So Women in Energy today in Saudi, hosting one of Women in Mining today, and Women in Engineering before 2 days celebrate us as a women in mining. And believe me, we are living the best days.
This is amazing, Rana. We truly wish you the best in your remarkable endeavors. I think that the commitment and transcendence embodied by pioneers like Rana and Andrea resonate deeply with the industry's ongoing journey to address DI objectives. So please keep us updated on any news and how your baby keeps growing. So now we're going to move with Doug Aitken. He's the Executive Director of the University of Queensland Sustainable Minerals Institute International Center of Excellence in Chile. His core mission is to connect Australia with Chile and Latin America and to transfer research, knowledge, and technology. So, Doug, I want to ask you, so we know that Australia, Canada, and Chile are leading examples of highest female representation within the mining industry worldwide. From your experience in the academia, both in Chile and Australia, how do you see these two countries moving beyond the traditional DI discourse?
Okay, thanks very much, Maria Jose, and thank you to International Women in Mining for the opportunity to be here and for everyone who's joining us. So Australia and Chile are both making very positive strides at the moment in terms of inclusion of women in the industry. Chile currently is sitting around 21% and Australia is at 22%. A couple of weeks ago, I was in Codelco's Andina side, and it was amazing. Almost all of the people who were in the meetings I were in were women, which is, I've never experienced that before. And actually, it was almost the same last week when I was in Vale, one of Vale's sites in Brazil, seeing Kilma there. I wanted to mention that as well. So really fantastic to see these changes. But there's still so many challenges that remain. So I want to mention 5 areas that I think we need to focus on if we're going to move beyond the traditional DEI. These are areas that I've discussed with female colleagues and received their ideas. Also want to acknowledge that and thank all of them for their thoughts. So the first one is career progression and retention. So at least here in Chile, I think what we're still seeing is that most women entering into the industry are still quite concentrated in entry-level roles. So we need to ensure that we're making that shift from those sorts of positions into leadership roles. And that's not just about equity, but it's also about improving diverse leadership, which then leads on to benefits for other women and providing those role models that I think women who are coming into the industry need to have to create that sort of virtuous cycle. training capacity building as well. So we need to ensure that the women entering the workforce and also the women who are thinking about entering are given the necessary training, and also particularly in areas that are now emerging like digitalization and automation. And again, Codelco's got a really good example in Antofagasta, where they've been working with schools in the region on leadership programs for young people, but particularly focused on diversity and inclusion. So it is possible. Culture change, and we've seen reports, particularly unfortunately, come out of Australia, where there's still issues of hostile environments, exclusionary environments as well, and also hearing from colleagues in Chile that remains an issue in some sites here. So we need to obviously address that. There needs to be really a priority and try and develop these cultures of respect, of safety, of inclusion. Otherwise, we're not going to retain the talent that we need. And we need to listen. We need to obviously engage with women who are coming into the industry and understand what the challenges they're facing and do something about it. Engaging men as well. So I've heard, and probably many of you have also heard from men that they're feeling disadvantaged at the moment, and that's probably an issue with communicating what's happening. An issue between seeing men and women as opponents and not as partners, which we need to be, and having that space for an honest dialogue about the benefits of a more diverse and inclusive workplace that works for everyone. And then finally, DEI. It needs to be a strategy. It can't just be a side project that sits in HR, for example. It's a little bit like sustainability. I feel like the industry now, sustainability is more at the core of what mining does. DEI and inclusion, it needs to be right at the center of what we do. It needs to influence decision making, investment, how we're operating, and leadership. So we really need to put focus on making that shift as well.
That is amazing, Doug. I think when you mention allyship, I come back to Audrey's panel about how we are together on this, and women and men have to be included in this conversation. So my second question, can you briefly explain what is the center doing to translate this into actionable and significant strategies and solutions?
So at SMI's Chile, we feel that we first need to get a deeper understanding of what's going on at the moment. What are the dynamics in terms of DEI in the industry, so we can really develop effective solutions and strategies with our partners. We've put together surveys previously across Latin America. They helped us design a leadership training program last year. That helped us identify some common barriers that women are facing in the industry. But that was just really a start. So we need to go further than that now. So we're looking to build long-term industry partners to work together on investigating the internal dynamics in their organization, what's working, what's not working, what are the challenges that are emerging now, and then together we can design more tailored and effective strategies. So I mentioned a training program that we ran last year for women in mining in terms of leadership skills, sharing experiences, exploring how the women can develop their careers and work together within a peer network. So that was fantastic, and we've continued to have those conversations with the participants in that program. I've also been working on developing training programs with an industry partner in Chile on leadership for women in coastal communities in northern Chile, with the idea of strengthening local socio and economic development in regions with mining. So these are some important initiatives that we're doing. They're not enough. We need to do much more. So these sorts of training programs that we have, we need to start integrating them into a broader strategies as an industry, and also ensuring that we're having this cultural shift. So we have new policies coming through. We have better working conditions, as was mentioned in the first panel. We've got systemic support for career development of women, and we see that ongoing behavior change. We're as a center, we're committed to positive change. We're making progress, but we've got much more to do. So we're also looking for partners to collaborate with us in really embedding DEI into industry. So if anyone who's listening is interested in working with us in that, please feel free to contact us as well.
I see Andrea smiling, so maybe we'll have a connection there. So thank you so much, Doug. Now we are moving south to Brazil. We'll have Kilma, Director of Operations in Vale Base Metals. He has an outstanding story of professional and personal growth and leadership. Kilma will be speaking in Portuguese, so please remember to click on the world icon to select your preferred language. So I wanted to ask you, do you consider that DEI is a core leadership responsibility embedded in your business culture and performance? So how would you describe your purpose-driven leadership?
Bom dia a todos e a todas. Maria, é um prazer, né, participar aqui com vocês no dia de hoje, num momento tão importante. Eu ouvindo aqui um pouco aqui da Hannah, né, inspirador, trazer um pouco aí da história, né, da Arábia para a gente, aqui um pouquinho no Brasil. Eu falo com muito orgulho representando o Brasil, a Vale Metais Básicos, aqui no Brasil, em especial no Pará, que é o norte do Brasil, bem próximo da floresta amazônica. Então, dá para trazer um pouquinho aqui de contexto que nós estamos em uma unidade operacional que traz aí um tom de área remota, né, que traz muito esse desafio voltado para o DEI. E dentro desse contexto, quando eu abordo o tema DEI, né, existe muito um trabalho muito forte relacionado à liderança, essa responsabilidade muito árdua da liderança em trazer isso como propósito, e dentro desse divisor, né, de dever de casa, um trabalho muito em paralelo com a cultura organizacional da empresa, muito focado no diálogo transparente, com muita humildade, né, porque nós sabemos dentro de um contexto que cada região tem seu tipo de especificidade, que requer com muito cuidado e humildade para aprender como que se constrói isso. E dentro desse trabalho, eu estou falando de uma área, Maria, Andréa, Doug, que tem indígenas, nós temos comunidades rurais, nós temos pessoas locais que requerem um cuidado, né, muito genuíno de como que a gente faz essa transformação. E isso é DEI, né? Isso é a gente trazer um pouquinho do que é o propósito e trazer um pouquinho do que seria essa nossa jornada. Eu comecei há mais ou menos 2 décadas, um pouquinho mais de 2 décadas atrás, como trainee em um programa de formação profissional, ainda como engenheira, né, júnior, e dentro dessa jornada, o trabalho, o propósito inicial foi muito voltado aí lá na exploração mineral, dentro de um início de uma mina, depois na transformação de uma mobilização de uma mina, e na sequência agora, né, respondendo por uma unidade operacional e trazendo mais e mais mulheres. Eu estou falando de uma unidade que hoje, o Vale Metais Básicos em todo o Brasil, representa 26% de mulheres, 50% de negros, nós temos 18%, 19% de mulheres na liderança. Isso começou bem pequenininho há 3 anos atrás e é uma jornada, né? E estamos evoluindo. Ainda tem muito ainda para avançar. E vamos contar com vocês, que vocês da Human Mining International vai nos ajudar a construir cada vez mais.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Kilma. I think that is a wonderful work that you're doing within your community, within your workspace. So I would like to ask the audience to please respond to the following question. So we have a simple question. So this is moving beyond traditional DI requires specific actions and deliverables. Which of the following actions do you consider the most impactful? 1, inclusive policies and practices. 2, training and education, breaking down stereotypes, unconscious bias, and fostering cultural competency. 3, tangible diversity in leadership and decision-making. 4, all of the above. Or 5, if you have any ideas, please share on the chat. Can we see the answers from the poll? There we go. So most of you responded all of the above. So I totally agree. We need to work on inclusive policies, training and education, leadership and tangible diversity decision-making. So thank you so much. We're going to use these responses for future conversations that we will invite you to as well. So thank you, since all positive covered younger generations. So thank you so much. We continue with Anna.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria Jose, Rana, Andrea, Kilma, and Doc for such an insightful conversation. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is not just a conversation, but it's a shared responsibility. And to achieve real and lasting change, we all must lead with determination and accountability. So now please join me to watch the following video from B2Gold, iWin's corporate partner.
I feel proud to be a woman working in mining, especially as a health and safety leader.
I want to grow my career in mining by working as a journalist, reporting social and environmental programs that we develop with the communities.
I continue to develop ethnotantric research on rehabilitation.
I'm the first woman in my family to have so much freedom and financial independence.
I feel supported in my work because of the environment I am surrounded here at Goose Lake Nunavut. Everyone is supportive of each other.
I'm proud to be a woman in mining because I know I'm capable of getting the job done safely and efficiently. I feel supported here by my crew.
Como mujer y profesional es un privilegio trabajar en la minería porque aportamos al desarrollo del territorio.
I am a living example that gender doesn't define skills, and women have their place in building for a better future in the mining sector.
My presence has challenged countless of stereotypes. I have inspired the future generation of women that aspire to work in the mining industry.
It's great to see women in different mining jobs because it shows that the industry is evolving and becoming more inclusive. Women bring diverse skills, perspectives, and leadership styles that strengthen teams and drive innovation.
As an Indigenous woman, it's very important to promote inclusion, diversity, as well as being a role model for future generations.
Como mujer que trabaja en la minería, mi contribución es importante porque es indudable que la minería es un peldaño hacia el desarrollo en una región.
Great. How amazing it is to see all these female miners and leaders sharing such a powerful message. So thank you, B2Gold, for providing the platform to do so. And the time has come to announce the winners of both games, iDoWin Trivia and Looks Like, Sounds Like. We appreciate and congratulate all the participants. So let's see who won the courses provided by EduMine. We will see it in the screen. So the winner of the create, Avi Backburn. Please turn on your camera so we can see you if you're around. Congratulations to Avi. Okay.
She had to leave early, I'm afraid.
Okay, good. No worries. Thank you. And now let's go with the second one. The winner of Looks Like, Sounds Like. So Lura Mulani, congratulations. Please, I think I saw your camera on, but congratulations. And we will contact you both at the end of this event so you can collect your prize. And well, for those that didn't win, remember you can still get a 25% discount on EduMine courses until June 27th. So you just use the code IDWin2025 at checkout, and the website is also provided in the chat. And now I am so excited as we will now listen to a message from Dr. Marvin Thompson, President of Team Synergy Global Consulting. He was not able to be live with us today, but has prepared the following special message for you all.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Marvin Thompson, President of Team Synergy Global Consulting, and it is a true honor to stand with you today in celebration of International Day for Women in Mining. At Team Synergy, we're proud to be one of the sponsors of this event and provide scholarships, not just in recognition of this moment, but as a clear commitment to education, equity, and every woman who's empowered to lead, create, and add value to the changing needs of the mining industry. I want to personally acknowledge the 105 women from 31 countries who shared where you started, where you are today, and your future path. I know these photos will inspire others just as it inspired me. For over 35 years, I have witnessed how education, policy, and strong leadership strengthens the foundation of our workforce. It is the bridge between where we come from and where we can go. Equal access to education opens doors, changes stories, and can reshape what inclusion truly looks like in mining. As president of Team Synergy, I believe that when we invest in a woman's education, we invest in her leadership, family, community, and in the future of this industry. To every woman who entered the photo contest, thank you. Thank you for your courage, resilience, and your truth. Your stories and your images are not only powerful, but they are also essential. On behalf of our entire team at Team Synergy Global Consulting, we thank you for letting us be part of this inspiring celebration. This moment has reminded me that real change doesn't happen from the top down. It happens when we all stand beside one another, and we are grateful to be standing beside you.
As the CEO of Team Synergy Global Consulting, I echo Dr. Marvin words here today. Choosing the winners of this year's photo competition was not easy. 105 incredible women from 31 countries who not only shared their photos, but their stories. And these collectively told us a much bigger story, that our future is being shaped by the resilience and courage. And I'm now honored to present to you the three winners. From Zimbabwe, Tande Heidi, despite her struggles, pressure to change paths, she never gave up. She followed her passion, created her own opportunities, and is now inspiring other women to do the same. From the United States, Happy Tukaro, from losing everything, starting her life all over, and being one of 16 women selected to take a 12-week heavy equipment operator course and never knew what a haul truck was. She now operates the biggest trucks, graders, and dozers in the world. Kathy has also used her life story to share and change lives and inspire others. And lastly, from Colombia, Manuela Alvarez Ruiz, it took great courage to pursue her dreams, even if it meant she had to leave the comfort of home. Her love of geology is what led her to stand out and lead others. This was so important to her that she developed an app for a field data collection and daily coal inventory that is now logging that information and significantly increasing efficiency. To all our winners, we acknowledge you and award you with your scholarship to take your career to the next level in earning your designation as Accountability Leadership Specialist. Congratulations.
Okay. Thank you, Audrey, Dr. Marvin Thompson, and the entire Team Synergy Global Consulting team for the scholarships and the work you have done to make this all possible. And as we start to come to a close of the June 17th celebration, we encourage you to visit our website to see all the additional IDWIM events happening across the globe. And we have added the link in the chat. And before we say goodbye, I would like to invite Audrey Lembisky and Maria Jose Rodriguez again to share a few words. All of this would not be possible without your leadership and the dedication of the entire IDWIM 2025 team of volunteers. I believe everyone here today would agree that the deep commitment was experienced in every detail. Thank you. Audrey, back to you.
Thank you, Anna. So before we close today's celebration, we want to leave you with more than gratitude. We want to leave you with an invitation. What we've experienced in today's celebration is not an endpoint. It's a spark, a spotlight that reminds us what's possible when we listen, lead, and when we rise together. But what happens between the moments? How do we carry this forward into our everyday lived experience? This is where all of our Voices of Impact begins. Voices of Impact is not just a campaign, it's a global movement, a living, breathing platform that carries us between each IDWIM celebration. Through storytelling, education, community engagement, and collaboration, Voices of Impact will do more than amplify women's contributions. It will create a meaningful and measurable support structure that brings women and allies together across borders, languages, and roles. The Voices of Impact 2025-26 will center on two powerful forces: resilience, the strength, adaptability, and steady leadership that moves industries forward, and recognition, the honoring of lived experience, innovation, and collective progress. So to every person who showed up today, keep showing up. Let your voice be heard, not just once a year, but every day. Because when we bring our voices together, we don't just create change, we become the Voices of Impact. I will now hand this over to my co-leader, an amazing leader, Maria Jose.
Thank you so much, Audrey. I am excited for the possibilities that will emerge from our Voices of Impact year-long campaign. I'd like to ask each and every one of you, in acknowledging the incredible work of Ana Fernandez Iglesias, our Master of Ceremonies, on behalf of all of us, thank you for the grace and leadership you brought into this global celebration. I also want to share a special acknowledgement to all of our IDWIM sponsors, allies, advocates, and supporters for your unwavering commitment and continued support. A special thank you to our 2025 IDWIM event sponsor, the World Gold Council, Edumine, and Team Synergy Global Consulting. This would have not been possible without your generosity. Again, we congratulate our 2025 IDWIM Ambassador, Rana Kavsimova, Paula Sierra, for your dedication, inspiration, and advocacy for women in mining across the globe. Bringing together over 1,300 people from everywhere in the world is not an easy task. So we extend our sincere thanks to our event producers, David Mann and Ian Davies. To our incredible speakers, thank you so much for your time and valuable insights. I truly believe your values and teachings will create a positive ripple effect, especially for the youngest generations entering the industry. So thank you, Ana Gabriela, Justine, Heather, Mechtilder, Rana, Andrea, Doug, and Kilma. We truly appreciate you. And finally, a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you for your presence and for showing up consistently. Our commitment to celebrating women in mining goes beyond just today. It's a daily endeavor reflected in our deliberate and powerful actions. Please always keep in mind that our collective efforts yield greater results than individual ones. So thank you so much. Muchas gracias. Merci beaucoup. Back to you, Ana.
Thank you. Thank you, Audrey. Thank you, Maria Jose. And thank you for everyone who made this IWIM event possible today. And of course, thank you to every single one of you who joined us today to celebrate the 2025 International Day of Women in Mining. We'd love to know how you celebrated it locally, so please share your events, activities, and conversations with us on social media or via email. It has been an honor and a pleasure to share this time with you today. Have a great day, afternoon, evening, or night, and see you next year. Thank you.